Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Data with Princilla, and in today's video, as you've already seen by the title, I am going to give you all the details about how I was able to transition from a non-tech background into data analytics. So, without much talking, let's just jump right into the video. So, as a child, I never liked mathematics. And so when SHS came, I knew for a fact that I was not going anywhere near science. So I ended up choosing general arts as well. And general arts had a bit of mathematics. Passing my WASI alone in mathematics was a real struggle. I remember when the WASI results came out, I was so nervous to check. I knew I did well, but when I get the mathematics part, it was the first area that I just glanced through to be sure that I didn't just get a D. And trust me, I was this close to getting a D in mathematics for WASI. And so it's a miracle that I was able to get through successfully. But you see, when I was selecting programs for my university, I remember that I chose certain programs like political science and nursing, and I didn't get accepted by any of them. I got a late admission instead. Now, when the letter came that I got late admission and there was some course available for me to select from, I just rushed to the cafe and I saw a list of programs. There was fashion and then there was arts. And I looked at my God and said, God, I am choosing this program. Now, even though I had no idea of what the program was, the underlying factors were that I was not exactly driven by purpose at this point. All I knew was that my colleagues are going to school and I have to go to school this year. So go to school. And I was close to wise enough to think that if I'm going to school, I should go into like fashion, which I have no interest in. But if I'm like arts, I have some kind of background from the SHS, it's going to be easier to blend in. I just chose a program. No research, nothing. People are going to school, go to school, go and do art, and then some way, somehow, you figure life out. So I did that. I got admitted, I went to school, and then the program was the program of my dreams. Oh my god. So for the entire 4 years that I studied at KNUST, I actually studied integrated rural arts and industry. And what this program is about, courses in bamboo technology, wood technology, we had clay, we had leather, we had fibers and fabrics and metal fabrications, right? So you can choose any of these ones and then specialize in. And there was no one instance that I had a calculator in my entire 4 years study. I remember in first year there was this discipline, it was on metal fabrication, and we were doing some calculations about some metal and lead, and I saw the calculation on my board. I told myself, this course I'm going to drop you. So first year I dropped metals because there was maths day. That was my only genuine for dropping metals. So that alone shows you how apprehensive I was about mathematics. And I completed my university degree with a major in bamboo and wood technology. So after my university, I did my national compulsory service at the Soko area robotics. It was a nice creative experience. About 3 months on the end of the national service, I realized that what I had learned and the business that I had made from the program I studied in the university was not something that I wanted to pursue as a career path. It was something that I saw myself do in the long run as a hobby or a side hustle. But after that one thing that brought me fulfillment and excitement when I woke up on my bed, it was not really there. I remember that one time I went to the office and I spoke to one of my senior colleagues who was in the tech space. I think he's was in computer science. I actually recommended go and look into data science. And I'm like, data science. They also has science. Science means math. So I went ahead and then looked at the program, and it was not a very interesting one for me. So I went back and watched a couple of videos again. So also back and forth in the process, trust me. I went back again and I realized that I could actually start with Google Data Analytics. This is a program, an introductory program for beginners in data analytics. And the program was absolutely the best for me. As someone who had no tech background, who hated math, was afraid of math, ran away from math, didn't want to smell math, that program helped me to embrace it. Because it began from an angle that helped me appreciate what math can do in your life, right? And I was like, data, numbers, save lives, how? And I saw a story about how a smartwatch was able to save somebody's life because the person fell down in the bathroom, and then the smartwatch was able to identify that was a crash, and then called 911, and 911 came, and then the person's life was saved. If 911 had delayed by a minute, probably would have died or something. So I was like, even me, I'm sitting here, I have been struggling with anxiety for a while. Prior to this, my entire data and web dilemma, I was having some struggles with panic attacks and anxiety for about 1 to 2 years, give or take. Imagine this: you have panic attacks and you go to the hospital. Your heart is already racing. You are afraid of something that you're not even sure of yet because it's a panic attack, right? Go to the hospital and they give you the sphygmometer that constricts your entire arm. The problem here is that I'm already anxious, and the constriction of my arm made me twice as anxious. And so my readings on the machine turned out to be almost always high, because anxiety plus anxiety is anxiety squared. And I just had to be on medication, diazepams, to be calm. That was how bad the anxiety was. So when I heard that smartwatches could literally track my health and then do this and that my doctor's machines were struggling to do, I was in shock. But I took the chance. I think as soon as possible, I got a new watch. That was a smartwatch. About a week later of consistent tracking, I realized that according to health stats and then what my watch is showing, I'm perfectly normal. I am fine. I am not, these panic attacks are unwarranted. Like, the smartwatch gave me the reassurance I needed that doctors couldn't give me, because I had facts on my hand to show that you are fine, right? And since then, I go to the hospital to check my health, because I know that the smartwatch is reliable. I'm able to be calmer, because I'm not having anxiety squared again. And since then, anxiety was heavily reduced, almost always to the point where it's even gone out. It's gone, literally. I'm not having panic attacks because now I was able to calm down about my health. That was how the smartwatch helped me. That was how data, simple numbers, simple tracking of metrics were able to help me calm down. So I was like, no. I told myself, if the smartwatch was able to literally save my life from going on a downward spiral, then I'm willing to put myself on the line to learn data in analytics to a point where I'll be able to save other businesses and their finance and their decision making from going down a downward spiral as well. That's how everything turned. So that one experience actually that helped me pack my fear of mathematics in the box and say that, you know what, this fear is keeping me in a competent space that I don't want to be anymore. I've seen the power of math and what it can do, and the fear I have is much lesser than the power that math can bring to make a difference in every single person's life in this world, if you are willing to. That's how I started. So game on, I started learning. I took the course seriously. Every day I went to work during my lunchtime. I was taking the course, I was learning, and I began to see Excel, and I'm like, wow, I know Excel from JHS. So it was very easy for me to blend into the program and even learn. I was elated. And I went into SQL and I was frozen. So it was there when a friend of mine sent me a link to apply data analytics program, which I was a little apprehensive to apply to because I just started learning on my own. Nobody held my hand. I was about a month in of learning this data when there's friends sent the link to me to apply. But I did anyways. I started to be requirement from this friend. I applied anyways. I remember I was sent an email to do some task in Jupyter Notebook. Now, remember, this is my very first time learning data analytics. Remember, I didn't like math in the first place, and I'm here now. This is stuck to do some program and solve a task using Jupyter Notebook. That was my very first time seeing Jupyter Notebook, and I was so confused because even till today, you go on YouTube and there's no single tutorial on how to use Jupyter Notebook. So I was confused. I was like, what is this? There's an entire task there. I was seeing things like Markdown. What is Markdown? I was so confused. So I remember I actually saw the task late. Was sent to John over the weekend, and I saw this on a Sunday afternoon. Alright, and the deadline was on the Sunday evening, I believe. So I was in that spot, and I had to find some way somehow to go and learn how to Jupyter Notebook and go and submit this task before Sunday night time. It was tough. Trust me, it was an entire struggle on its own. I spent my entire Sunday afternoon trying to figure out the Jupyter Notebook. And because one thing to know how to Jupyter Notebook, another thing to write Python code, which I was not even exposed to yet. So I took a step back and checked the task again, and I was like, this thing you're giving me, I can do it in Excel, which I already know. Even though the test explicitly said that I should do this work in Jupyter Notebook using Python, I can do it in Excel. At the time, was a much better way for me to do the work in a different language and to rather than not submit it at all. I thought I had come this far to give up. So because I was already good at Excel, it didn't take too long. In about 30-45 minutes I was done. And I think I worked so beautifully that really I was a little too impressed with myself for grasping the data in the math and able to analyze it and then share an Excel file to an entire training academy. And I just sent it. Tell myself that, you know what, it's fine. Whatever happens, you put your best foot forward, that's what matters. And I did it. So I think about a week later, I was in the Legon library. I got a call that you're very sorry you didn't get to the program. And I was down spirited because at that time I was done by national service. I was at home, I had no plan. I was not regretting my choice of degree I took in university. But right now, I applied to a job and everyone's saying that, what do you do in university? What is the degree at in your industry? What program is that? What does it mean? How is it applicable in this job? And you don't know what to even say. So I was already looming in regrets for that in the university, and I didn't have any networks or connections to go and be put somewhere. It was just an island on my own, and to have gone this far in the interview and application process, and then I didn't get accepted. Whole different struggle. So I was sad, but the next day they called me again and told me that, hey, somebody else dropped out, and we went to the applications again, and we saw that your work was really good. We did it in Excel, so we'd like to add to the program. Are you interested? I said, say no more. The next day, I was in class, and it lasted for about 3 months, and it was one of the best training programs I've had in my life. Even though it was a short time to grasp both matched AI, data science and data analytics, I was able to get the fundamentals I needed to get myself to where I'm at today. And even after that training program, it took me an extra year to certify myself in the data space. But the thing is that the program has ended, but life hasn't, and you have to find a way to continue. So I remember after the program, I came back home, back to square one and unemployed. And I couldn't find any company to employ me because once again, you didn't do data in university, you didn't do success in university, you are not math inclined, you did integrated rural arts and industry, you did general arts in SHS. So what I bring to the table, why should I trust you because you just claim you have some 3-month training program? That's enough. And I agree totally. So I sat back, told myself, I better re-strategize. And I realized that the reason why people are acting this way is because I don't have evidence to prove. Imagine somebody comes to you and tells you that, hey, I've gone to university for 4 years and I did odontology, but I have a 3-month certificate here, so choose the certificate over my odontology program. It's so hard to do that. It will be painfully hard. No, it's unrealistic. So on the side, I was doing projects. I remember joining virtual internship programs and certifications on that. I did more certifications, and I also had to build my communication skills. Because one thing I realized was that most tech people in this space had a lot of technical skills. You can do anything from SQL to R to Python to Excel. When you get to the interview room, they're like robots, and all they speak is tech, which becomes very difficult for anyone to relate with you on. So because of my background and everything, I was able to merge the two. So while I was learning the technical skills, I found myself behind my phone, my camera, assuming I'm listening to stakeholders and talking, and I got a job. That helps me be as fulfilled as possible and makes me contribute in ways that even propelled me to people into this place in the first place. So that is my mini story about Get Data Analytics. I know it was pretty long, but I took my time to help you understand that I didn't come from a very privileged background. For me, what kept me going throughout, because staying unemployed at home for an entire year is a struggle. It's also a much difficult struggle if the country you are in is a struggling one as well. You are struggling together in the country. It's not something fun to wake up to every single morning. There were nights I was crying, I was giving up, I was mad. There were so many emotions involved. But the one that kept me going was because I had a reason from the start, which was to replicate what data did for me. To make sure that the businesses are not just doing anything because they feel like they're doing it because data is driving them to do it. And that alone was enough to keep me pushing. And I am wrapping up here. Thank you all so much for sticking it through me to the end. It was exciting having you here, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for being here. Bye.